So what we're going to be doing today in my kitchen is we're going to make twice baked potatoes, and we're using Canada's russet potatoes for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wash them off, get them ready, and I'll show you what that looks like once I have them ready. So we're just going to rinse off these potatoes because we're going to want to use the skins to actually put the stuff back in them once. I'll show you anyway once we get to that point. So we're going to rinse them off, give them a nice little scrub, and then I'm going to cut all these little eyes off just for they're not on there. So I'm just going to continue, and I'm going to scrub these potatoes, and I'll show you what they look like once I have them all cleaned up. The oven to 400 here. So we have our potatoes washed, and I have one right here, and I'm just going to dry it with the piece of paper towel. And now that I have it dried, what I'm going to do is I have this roasted garlic oil. I'm just going to rub some into the outside of the potato. Now you can use olive oil, vegetable oil, whatever you want to use. And I'm just going to rub it on and rub it in. And that way the spices that are in it will get into the skin as well, the flavoring. And you want to poke some holes into it with a fork for when the potato's baking it doesn't explode. So we're just going to poke a few holes into it, and then we're going to put it on a cookie sheet. And I'm going to continue to do the rest of those just like that, and I'm going to fast forward and show you what it looks like once I'm done. So we have the potatoes. They're all rubbed down with the oil, and there you have holes poked in them. So we're going to bake them now in the oven on 400 degrees for 1 hour and 15 minutes, and I'm going to fast forward and show you what they look like then. So for this recipe, we could use synthetic bacon, but we might as well use the rice kind of bacon for these twice baked potatoes. So I'm just going to continue to fry this stuff, and then actually I'm not frying it. My Homestead and Buddy Warren is frying it, so I'm just going to wait till it's done, and then I'll show you what we're going to do with it. So this is what our potatoes look like when they have 4 minutes left. We're just going to let them go, and then we're going to take them out, and I'm going to hollow them out and show you what to put in them. So these are the potatoes, and they have been baking for the hour and 15 minutes. So what we're going to do is we're going to let them cool down for a few minutes because we don't want to burn ourselves. And while they're cooling down, I'm going to put the spices and the other ingredients into the bowl that we're going to mix the insides with. So I'm going to fast forward and show you what to do next. Okay, so what we have here is the other ingredients we're going to put inside our twice baked potatoes, and we have our spices back there. We have some mushrooms that we're going to cut up, some bacon that we just cooked, some dehydrated peppers that I dehydrated a little while ago. I'll show you the link for that in the video. Some tomato, some green onions, and some cheese. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start hollowing out the potatoes, and I'm going to put them in a bowl, and I'm going to skip forward and show you what I'm going to do there. So I have a potato here. I have one cut in half, and they're not big enough to cut in half, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hollow a hole into it that I can actually use to scoop out the insides. So it is hot, so be careful you don't burn yourself. So I'm just going to take that off like that, and I'm going to take a spoon, and I'm going to scrape out the insides and put it all in a bowl. I have my bowl here. So I'm just going to scrape out the potato, and I'm going to show you what it looks like once it's done. So before I add the ingredients in that I'm going to flavor them with, I'm going to mash them with my masher. So I'm just going to fast forward and show you what they look like once they're mashed up. Potatoes mashed up, so what we're going to do is we're going to sprinkle in some oregano. Just going to open it up because we want to actually put a little bit in, probably about a teaspoon. And then we're going to put in a little bit of chili pepper that we're not going to tell anybody. They're going to not know about it. And we're also going to put some garlic in there, some garlic powder. and that's about 1/4 of a teaspoon. And we're going to put a few little chili, red chili, crushed red chilies in there. As well as we have some onion powder. As well as salt and pepper. And some parsley. And that's the spices we're going to put in. So I'm just going to start cutting up the bacon and the onions and skip forward to the next step and show you putting those in. So now that we have the spices in, I have the bacon here cut up. I'm just going to add that in. And I did cook the bacon. Well, Warren cooked the bacon, but it was cooked bacon. It's not fake bacon. And it does make a difference. So we're going to take these green onions. As soon as I find my scissors, and we're going to cut those and put them in. So I found my scissors. Of course, they were hiding the last place I'd look, which makes sense. So I'm just going to cut these green onions up with the scissors. I find the scissors is the easiest way to cut them. So I'm going to leave a little bit for the top. And I have some dehydrated peppers that I dehydrated. So I'm just going to break those up and put them in. And I'm just going to chop up a few mushrooms and a tomato. And I'll bring you back when I have that done. So I'm just going to add in some tomatoes now. Some onions and some mushrooms, and I'm going to mix it up, and once I mix it up I'm going to add the cheese in. So I'll just show you what it looks like once it's mixed up. We have the mixture mixed up, and I have some cheddar / mozzarella cheese here, so I'm just going to add about a cup in. I'm going to save some for the top. I'm going to mix it up and I'll show you what it looks like once it's mixed. The mixture, and now what we're going to do is we're going to spoon it back into the potato skins. We're just going to start putting that back into the potato skins. So. And I'm just going to continue to do that until we have them all stuffed, and then I'll show you what that looks like. This is what the potatoes will look like after you restuff them. And I have them all restuffed, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some cheese, and I'm just going to sprinkle it over the top of each of them. And then I'm going to put them back in the oven. I'm just going to cut some green onions for the top. And I'm going to sprinkle each of them with green onions. And I'm going to move along to the next. So I'm just going to put them in the oven and continue to bake them, and probably for about a ½ hour. And I'll show you what they look like when they come out of the oven. So if you like, subscribe. Just wanted to show what these look like when they come out of the oven, these twice baked potatoes. So if you like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.